Look, are you sitting there right now, completely broke, stuck without a job, or maybe trapped 8 hours a day under a boss you absolutely cannot stand? If you're nodding your head, you are exactly who this explainer is for. Today, we are cracking open the remote work escape hatch. We're going to break down exactly how to land beginner-friendly remote jobs that actually pay in US dollars with literally zero prior experience required.
We all know the absolute agony of the modern job hunt, right? You're firing hundreds of carefully crafted resumes out into the digital void only to get absolute silence in return. Or you try looking for beginner roles, but you hit that infuriating wall where an entry-level position somehow absurdly requires 3 to 5 years of specialized experience. It's maddening. It feels like a completely rigged game. But what if I told you there is a backdoor? A completely different avenue where a fancy degree or a stacked resume just doesn't matter. In this world, performance is literally the only currency that counts. You don't need a diploma, you need zero prior experience, and yes, you get paid in USD, which, let's be honest, can be an absolute game changer depending on where you live. This explainer is your direct map to that backdoor.
Section 1. The 4 remote classes. Choose your remote work loadout.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think of these like character classes in a video game. Our first class is the appointment setter. The mission here is super straightforward. You are the front line. Your entire job revolves around managing calendars, following up with prospects, and reaching out via email and phone to book calls for the main sales team. You might be working for clients based in the UK or the US. And the best part? Full, comprehensive training is practically always provided. They will teach you exactly what to do.
Next up, our second class, the client sales representative. Now hold on, don't let the word sales intimidate you. As a beginner here, you don't need to invent some brilliant, persuasive pitch out of thin air. Instead, you are handed proven call frameworks and scripts. Your job is just to have a professional phone presence, speak clear English, and have the discipline to actually follow those provided scripts to convert leads into customers. You literally just stick to the script.
So, why choose the sales rep loadout? Well, let's talk about the money. Strong performers in this specific role are hitting targets of $1,600 to $2,000 a month. How? Because companies will often start you with a base pay, let's say $7 an hour, and then they stack performance bonuses on top. You might get $5 extra for every single appointment that actually shows up, plus uncapped commissions. The ceiling on your earnings is entirely determined by your hustle.
Our third option is kind of a hidden gem, the real estate acquisition specialist. Sounds super fancy, but it basically just means you're a relationship builder. You're handling inbound leads, these are people who are already reaching out, and conducting discovery calls to qualified property owners who actually want to sell. Now, while companies will often say a year of sales experience is preferred for this role, it is absolutely not mandatory. They routinely hire outside of that requirement if you just show you can handle the work.
$1,250. That number perfectly illustrates the security that comes with the real estate role. That is a guaranteed monthly US dollar base pay we found for this position, paid bi-weekly before any deductions. But it doesn't stop there. On top of that solid base, you're looking at a 1 to 5% performance-based commission structure, plus monthly incentives. So you get that baseline security, plus a massive upside if you crush it.
Finally, for our introverts out there who would rather look at a spreadsheet than talk to a human all day, we have the lead generation specialist. Your role is purely research. You'll scour online tools and databases to identify potential leads, gather contact info, update the company's CRM systems like Salesforce or HubSpot, and track outreach metrics. It's quiet, it's focused, and it is highly independent work.
So, what do you actually need to pull off any of these 4 roles? Here is your required starter pack. You need a reliable laptop or computer. You need a highly stable internet connection, and ideally, some kind of backup power solution. You absolutely must have a dedicated, quiet workspace. No dogs barking or TVs blaring in the background, okay? You need strong, clear, verbal, and written English, and finally, just a basic high school or matric certificate. That's it. That is the entire barrier to entry.
Section 2. The catch. Why are they hiring beginners? Now, you have to be asking the logical question right about now. If getting a job paying USD with zero experience is so easy, why isn't literally everyone and their mother doing it? The answer is transparency. These roles are highly accessible. The door is wide open for you to walk through, but they are absolutely not easy to do.
Let's weigh the reality of the daily grind here. On one side, you have this massive, life-changing pro of uncapped US dollar earning potential. But on the other side is the grueling con. You could be making up to 200, maybe even 600 calls in a single day. You're going to deal with constant rejection. People are going to hang up on you. Customers will be angry. You will probably get called names you didn't even know existed. It is a total psychological marathon.
And that leads to this harsh reality shared in our source material. Someone took one of these roles and flat out said, "1 month was all I needed and I literally quit." This right here is exactly why these jobs are always hiring. The employee turnover is insanely high. Most people just cannot handle the rejection. They want the USD, but they don't want the grind. And honestly, that high turnover is exactly why the door is always unlocked for hungry new applicants like you.
It really boils down to this brutal, but honestly entirely fair logic. Companies are paying for results, not your resume. If you're in a fully commission-based role and you make 500 calls but get 0 bookings, well, you get 0 pay. The company is taking almost 0 risk in hiring a beginner. If you don't produce, they don't pay. But if you have the resilience to push through and actually deliver results, they will happily pay you out.
Section 3. The Blueprint. Your actionable steps to escape.
All right, let's get into the actual blueprint. First, you need to know where to hunt. Stop mindlessly doom-scrolling social media and start targeting specific keyword searches on platforms that actually work. You want to look on Indeed, which is fantastic for finding small businesses desperate for help. You want to scour Simply Hired. And of course, set up alerts on LinkedIn. Search for exact phrases like appointment setter, client sales representative, and lead generation. When you finally land that interview, and if you keep at it, you will, you need a defense strategy. Do not just blindly accept the first offer out of sheer desperation. You must ask highly specific questions to protect your time. First, clarify the exact split between base salary and commission. Is it 100% commission? Second, understand the exact percentages. Are you getting 2% or 5% per deal? And third, ask about their quotas. What are the baseline expectations just to keep the job? Total clarity is your absolute best defense.
Look, this is the most important thing to remember. Making 600 calls a day is probably not going to be your forever career, and that is totally fine. Getting your foot in the door is infinitely more important right now than finding your absolute dream job. The goal here is to build your remote work experience, to gain bulletproof resilience, and to start earning in US dollars. You might start out as a lead generator and use that exact experience to land a massive account manager role a year from now.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. You now know the escape hatch exists. You know the exact roles, the basic requirements, and the platforms to actually go find them. The only thing left is the execution. Are you ready to trade your current comfort zone, embrace the daily hustle of rejection, and finally break out of the traditional entry-level trap for an uncapped USD income? The back door is wide open. It's just up to you to walk through it.